Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Formation the Podcast. We are so excited to be joined by Lali Michelsen from the Business of Speed, all the way from Toronto. She lives and breathes everything motor racing, especially Formula One and IndyCar. But we're so excited to get her on today, get her predictions for the weekend, see what she's been up to, and discuss a few of the big headlines that we've had over summer break. Lali, so excited to have you on the podcast.
Guys, I'm psyched to be here. Nat, Elle, it's so good. We were just speaking before we got on air. I feel like we're besties already. We've been friends, virtual friends for a while. So I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
Absolutely. It's really exciting. And I mean, it's going to be a bit of a stretch for us because we've just had 4 weeks off.
Yes.
No.
We need to, stretch the vocal cords, really just get back into our groove because we are coming into the second part of the season and it is so exciting. We've got so much to discuss. I think, first off, tell us a little bit about you, what your background is, and business of speed.
Yeah. So I always like to say that I'm from Colombia. If you're Colombian, that's the first thing you explain about yourself. So I grew up in Colombia. And at a very, very young age, I stumbled across an F1 race when I was very young, single digits young. And I became possessed, hooked on Formula One racing, very young age. Nobody in my family was into it. It was a very random thing. I was a very peculiar child. And that led me into IndyCar as well because it just open wheel racing in general. And it's been this love my entire life, but it was never something I did in any capacity for work, or it was just a passion I had. My career has always been in advertising, actually. I'm a writer, then I became a creative director, and that's sort of how I built a career. And then just in the last year, I connected with Vincenzo, who's my co-host on the podcast. He's in Connecticut. I'm in Toronto and New York often. And we started the podcast, and he had a newsletter that was pre-existing and it's been growing. And it's sort of taken off, the podcast, the newsletter. And we now create content for rights holders or teams or brands or different people at tracks sometimes, which is obviously the most fun.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So you just said that you're at the track, as much as you can be, obviously. Where did you just come from? We saw all over your socials that you had the best weekend ever. So jealous.
Oh my goodness. So I was so lucky. I was at the IndyCar race here in Toronto. Now they've moved it outside of Toronto to Markham. It's just in a suburb 30 minutes away. Guys, it was incredible. The access I had, I was treated so kindly by Chip Ganassi Racing, by Honda, by all the teams, by drivers. There's so much access to the paddock and to the drivers at an IndyCar race. I highly recommend people, if they haven't been to an IndyCar race, to go. It's so much fun. The race itself was super, super exciting. Look up the last 20 laps of that race on YouTube, anyone who hasn't seen an IndyCar race, and you're going to want to watch the race this weekend if you watch those last 20 laps, because it was so good. Anyone in the top 5 could have won that race. It was quite the show. Yeah, so IndyCar is sort of like this love that I try to promote and talk about as much as I can, because it lives in the shadow of F1, but it's such great racing. The drivers are so world class. They race on a variety of circuits, which is very different than F1. F1, we have sort of either a street course or a road course. In IndyCar, they have street, road, short ovals, super speedway. So they're racing on a really big variety. So the skill of the driver matters a lot. So so I was there all weekend. It was incredible.
That's so awesome. And I mean, as two girls that don't follow IndyCar, you have definitely intrigued us into the world of IndyCar. Yeah. You definitely have done a great job in pulling us into that world. So we're really excited to see a little bit more about that. So across race weekend for you, when you are attending these races, what does a typical weekend look like? Does it start on a Thursday? Does it start even earlier? What's the kind of access that you get? Does it vary depending on what race you do go to? How does it look?
So that's a great question, because it depends on who brought us to the track or why we're there, right? So in January, for instance, IMSA, sports car racing, they brought us to the Rolex 24. So that was they're the rights holder. So they bring you to the track. So you're there sort of to promote the series, promote the track. During the 24 hours, we shot a podcast in the bus of John Doonan, who's the president of IMSA. They took us to the flag waving stand in the middle of the race up above. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. So that's one sort of project, so to speak. When we went to Miami for F1, we were there with a client. It's a holding company. They're there to promote themselves, a company, and sort of position themselves in that ecosystem. So it's sort of a different brief. So there's not really one answer. It depends who you're there representing, so to speak. So, but usually, you at least have to get their minimum on a Thursday to get your bearings, and then on track Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, sounds amazing.
So good.
I'm literally like watching the last 20 laps of the last IndyCar race as soon as we get off this podcast.
No, you have to. You're going to be like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah. And there's names you're going to recognize. Marcus Ericsson was in the race. Romain Grosjean's in the race. Like, there's names you recognize.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially coming off the back of 4 weeks off, as a motorsport fan, F1 fan, you're always looking for other races to watch. You're going back, best wet race of 2015 or best race of this, whatever it is, you're looking for things to watch. So, it would be good for another series to watch. I don't know if my sleep schedule would like it all the way down here in Australia, but definitely would be good to pick up another series to watch. That's for sure.
So please, we welcome you to the IndyCar fold.
All right. So a few things have popped up over summer break. Down over in your part of the world, Cadillac, we have had a changing of the team principals. We're getting mixed messages. We're hearing it's mutual. We're hearing, not everyone was in agreement. We're hearing it was, a scheduled plan. What is your thoughts? Do you have some insight knowledge we don't get down here in Australia? What can you get?
I don't know how inside, but I'll tell you what I know and sort of my, let's say, educated opinion. So certainly Graham Loudon wasn't meant to be the team principal in perpetuity there. No, it was known from the beginning that he was there sort of to set up the team, and then sort of there was going to be a transition at some point. That was known. That was known.
Yeah.
What was quite shocking to a lot of people is that during the summer break, mid-season in their first year, he's let go. I really don't think it's mutual because he hasn't come out with a statement. It was certainly not a joint statement. So that is very telling to me. And then Marcin Budkowski comes in, who, by the way, he's great on paper. In fact, he has the better CV over Graham Loudon if you have to compare. He was at Ferrari during the Schumacher years when Kimi Räikkönen won his championship at Ferrari. He was there. He was at McLaren when Lewis won in 2008. Then he was at Alpine, Renault, transitioning into Alpine. So the guy's really, really well suited. But I don't think that sacking someone mid-season is the best for team morale or continuity. I think it's quite disruptive, perhaps. And I, more importantly, don't think it will accomplish very much. The reality is that team is already batting above average. Like, nobody expected them to do well. And even though it may not look on paper like they're doing great, they're actually doing great for an F1 first year team. If you compare them to HRT or Caterham, other teams of the past, they're solidly within the 2%. The project is very competent, and I don't think Budkowski can come in and fix the DNFs or the brake issues. So I don't know what they're going to accomplish with that move, actually. Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, it's one of those
It's always one of those things, yeah. But yeah, as you said, and it is so interesting because I think we both find ourselves, in an argument about Cadillac quite often, more often than not, in terms of their performance and how they are going in their first year. Obviously, like, even witnessing their first ever race was incredible. We just loved being there for it. It was a sad ending to it because obviously they didn't get to finish the race, and that is still continuing to happen throughout the season. But as you said, they are doing well for a first year F1 team. And I think that's something that everyone needs to continue to have in the back of their mind when things happen. Yeah.
And it's like there's no auditioning period for an F1 team. It's not like, okay, you can come to the track for a year, practice, see how your car goes. It's like the first race is like your first day on the job. You go in blind. This is what it is. And whatever happens, basically. So it is kind of like not an audition, but this first year we kind of do need to give him a bit more grace probably than I personally have been giving them.
I do think so. And I think that Graham Loudon brought the project up to this point. So there's a lot of credit due there. And I think the team probably in a way, I don't know how good or bad the morale is there, but it can't be super high, right? Because even though it's expected, nobody likes to lose in DNF every single race. They have two very established drivers who probably hate being at the back of the grid, So then all of a sudden losing their leader mid-race and kind of perhaps blindsided in a way, like again, Budkowski apparently he said he hadn't even been to the Silverstone facility. So it was quite cloak and dagger.
Yeah.
So I don't know about team morale or how that plays. All we can do is hope for the best. Marcin is very, very competent. So let's hope that this is sort of an accelerated part 2 of the program and that.
Yeah. In a way, I feel like some teams like to do these big announcements during summer break because they think they're going to like go under the radar, or, we're not going to be out of track. So we're not going to get bombarded with questions and things like this. But it's just going to happen at the next race. It's like, it's not, as an outsider looking in, it just looks messy, really. But we'll
it also, and I don't want to get into this because everybody's talking about this, but it also sort of coincides with like TWG Global under federal investigation. So I don't know how this would have gone under the radar, but you're right. They do sometimes like to do these things not in the most prominent time, but I don't think there was a not prominent time to do this.
It was never going to work.
It was never going to work.
No. So true. Change gears. Yeah. We had Carlos Sainz locking it down at Williams.
I know.
I feel like Natalie and I were expecting Carlos to, pack his bags and go elsewhere. But in saying that, I'm actually quite glad to see that he has committed to Williams. What's your thoughts?
So my thoughts is 30 million euros a year sounds very tempting. That's what Lando Norris, who is a world champion, makes. Apparently it's something like 15 times what Kimi Antonelli currently makes. So a lot of people were saying, that it shows you Carlos Sainz believes so much in Project Williams. And I'm thinking it also means Williams believes a lot that Carlos Sainz will deliver once they give him a good car because they're paying him a lot of money. I was also very surprised that he signed on, especially for a multi-year deal.
Yeah.
Which is what they're saying it is. So I was very surprised. Obviously, it's great for them because they have stability, they have continuity, especially with these regulations. He's already getting to know the car. So it's great for them, great for the teams, great for James Vowles. I'm sure he's relieved. But I was surprised as well, guys. I was surprised. The problem is that no other domino had fallen. So I think he was a little bit in a situation where would he go? There's no other current domino that has fallen. So I think it was sign and get your 30 million euros and keep believing in what you've believed.
I think there's got to be for sure some exit clauses in that contract. Multi-year, can mean a lot of things, as we've seen in the past. I think there has to be some kind of performance clause on the team side because Carlos isn't getting any younger and he's not old by any stretch of the imagination, but in F1 years, his career is getting into that later stage and we haven't seen him kind of, I don't think, reach the accolades his talent deserves yet. And he will be thinking about these kinds of things. So, I definitely think there would have to be some kind of exit clause, but we'll see. Happy to know that we're going to see him on the grid for the next few years regardless. So, Carlos.
Yes, let's acknowledge his dreaminess.
Love that. All right. So we've they were the two big stories I think over summer break. Have we?
Wait, no, there was one today, guys. Huge.
Are we talking about Yuki?
Well,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, when you say today, I'm like, have I missed something?
Yeah.
When you say today, I'm like, I haven't really been on my phone much this morning, but it's like, no, because today is yesterday for us. Yeah. I got to get
Lali. Yeah. You, I think it was just a few days ago, I heard you say that you have a hot take, and your hot take is that you can see Yuki Tsunoda in Was it Indy or NASCAR? It was
in
one of the
IndyCar.
other.
So, and this is a
In
hot
Indy?
take, guys, from December. So in December, I had this hot take. Luckily, we got on camera. And I said to Vincenzo, Yuki's unemployed. He has no sort of opportunity in sight right now. He's always connected to Honda. And I said to Vincenzo, in just to explain, and I don't know if you know, and maybe your listeners don't know, in IndyCar, there's only 2 engine suppliers, Chevy and Honda. So that really matters, right? So every single team has either a Chevy or a Honda engine. So the Honda influence is quite big. So I said, so Honda likes to employ Japanese drivers. There currently isn't a Japanese driver in IndyCar, but there are really good teams that have Honda engines. So I think Yuki lands at not one of the bigger teams right now, like a Chip Ganassi Racing or Andretti Global, because those are too big. I think he lands at a smaller team, maybe Dale Coyne Racing or Meyer Shank Racing, to sort of get his bearings, learn the car, learn the series. And if he does well, I could see him getting promoted to a bigger team if there's a vacancy, if he does well. That's the big caveat. It's not so easy to come into these cars. These cars don't have power steering, for instance. They're a different beast to handle. But that was sort of my hot take, that he would end up in IndyCar. And then there's all these news that perhaps he's going to be in IndyCar. So we shall see if it comes together.
Well, I loved it, and how perfectly timed, because you did revisit that. You brought it back to our attention just a couple of days ago. And I was like, oh my God, F1's not done with him. He's in a car this weekend. Yeah. Can you believe it? And earlier this year, it was actually at the season opener. Natalie was interviewing Nicole Piastri, Oscar Piastri's mum.
Yeah, she loves him, though.
She absolutely loves him. And her hot take was that she was going to see Yuki Tsunoda, even though she's well and truly aware that he does not have a seat in F1 this year. She said, I'm going to see Yuki Tsunoda on the podium this year. Ooh. And I woke up this morning and I was like, are we seeing Yuki Tsunoda on the podium?
Could you imagine?
Okay, so I love me some Nicole Piastri, but we're not going to see Yuki. We're not. It's just not going to happen. Not in the racing bull. It's just not going to happen. I'm so sorry. Maybe for a selfie or something, to wave at the crowd. Maybe wave at the crowd.
I'm here.
Absolutely.
But it would take a lot of attrition and DNFs.
Maybe in the sprint. Maybe
in the sprint, like you don't know. Like if 16 cars crash out, you don't know. So I don't think so. I do. So a lot of the stuff that I heard yesterday for you guys, is that like people thought that he should have just parachuted into Red Bull. So there was a lot of confusion around why they're doing so much switcheroo, why Liam is going to the big bull and why. But it makes sense if you think about it, because Yuki has not driven a single lap IRL in this car already, right? To begin with. So that matters a lot. Liam has been driving the car all year, so he's more used to what this car, even though it's a different car, it's the same regulation. So he could slip into the better car and probably bring more points collectively to the team than bringing in Yuki, who's just not going to do well in either car, probably, guys, because it's such a different rocket to drive that car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they're bringing Liam up, say, like, instead of Arvid, as like a test almost? Like, he's been at Racing Bulls, he's been at Red Bulls, he's back at Racing Bulls, and it's kind of like, what are we doing here with Liam? We know Arvid is performing out of all expectations. He's not going anywhere. But do we think this is a test for Liam to see, does he have a future in the years to come? Or
I think 2 guys are auditioning this weekend. Yuki Tsunoda is certainly auditioning this weekend. And Liam Lawson is auditioning. He's the only driver that's ever had the opportunity to go back to Red Bull after being sacked. And certainly now we have Isaac's benchmark for the year. So if he can even come close to Max, he's showing something to Red Bull.
Yeah.
I think that it also says a lot, even though Yuki is the actual reserve driver for Red Bull, guys. So really, he should have gone into perhaps the big bull. I think it says a lot as to where Red Bull's head is at to bring Liam into the car. So I do think that Liam is auditioning. I think in general, he's auditioning in general because we don't know how much time he has left. And
Yeah.
and even though he's done great this year, last year, not, so he's been a sort of a mixed bag driver. So if he can come in and put in a great race, a solid race, stay within a decent gap of max, it also, I think, will give him vindication. He was kicked out so quickly. It must have been really demoralizing. 2 races, you're out. It was so cutthroat.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a vindication weekend for him if he can pull off a decent result. And then, of course, Yuki, man, what an opportunity, right? Someone who doesn't have a ride anywhere for next year, not even an IndyCar, right? So if he can come in and do decent, he's been gifted an opportunity.
Absolutely. He's refreshing everyone's memory of who he is and that he is still here and open for work.
Open for work, like his LinkedIn.
Like on LinkedIn. Yeah, for sure.
Do we know, has Isaac said how, like, are we certain it's just the 1 week, one race that he's missing?
So I was looking. I was looking back. It's a fracture on the wrist. I was looking at Isaac's Instagram for 6 days ago. Unless he posted photos that were not current, he did not have a wrist injury in those photos from 6 days ago. So that was a clue. So then, was he just like trying to keep it undercover by posting those photos? We don't know. Daniel Ricciardo, when he had his wrist issue, he was out for 8 weeks. That was a lot. But Lance Stroll came back really quickly. He had a super surgery.
Super surgery.
Super surgery. Talk to that guy. So I don't know. So the good thing is next weekend there's no race. So hypothetically, it gives them an extra week to recover. But I don't think they're going to let us know exactly what's happening until way closer to that race. It's probably a day-by-day kind of thing. Yeah.
That's like you said, that's exactly what they did with Daniel. We'd know on like the Wednesday before the race whether he was racing or not. So watch this space.
All I can tell you is Yuki's probably in that simulator 20 hours a day right now, trying to learn the car. Yeah. So that I can guarantee you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope he's feisty. You know, I want to see the Yuki we know and love. Give us a bit of spice.
I don't think that dude has another gear.
I know, but imagine like him and Liam. There'll be something. I can just see them fireworks. Can't wait.
Let's call it fireworks. Yes.
Yeah. So we know that we're not going to see Yuki in your predictions this weekend, but we do want to get into our predictions.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to Zandvoort, high, medium speed corners, high downforce. Before we get specific drivers, what do you think?
Overall. So you're going to like this because I do think that McLaren are going to have a very good weekend, actually.
I do like that a lot.
I knew you'd like that. So they brought major upgrades to Hungary. And I think that the tracks are very comparable. So if you've done well in Hungary, odds are you can do quite well in Zandvoort as well. They're bringing part 2 of those upgrades, which is a rear wing to Zandvoort. And now they're going to have 2 wings. They're going to have like the normal wing, and they've also now added the Macarena wing. So I think at Zandvoort, we're not going to see the Macarena wing, but now they're going to have it in rotation. Lando and Oscar have both won there in the past 2 years. So I have a good feeling about McLaren this weekend at the track. Who I do not have a good feeling about, which is so sad for me to say, is Ferrari, unfortunately. There's some rain in the forecast for Saturday. Ferrari doesn't traditionally do great in the rain, and we haven't seen these cars in the rain, which is weird. And like I said, they didn't do great at Hungary, so I don't expect them to do great at Zandvoort because it translates. I think they just have to get through their weekend, sort of mitigate damages, and just look forward to tracks that suit that low drag of their car better. Monza, Singapore, Baku, those tracks, we can see them perhaps winning again. I don't think they're going to do great this weekend. And then Mercedes, I think this track suits them quite well. I think they're going to do well. That's my sort of overall.
All right.
Love that. What a way to jump into our predictions for sure, because we've got a sprint weekend, which is always so exciting. The Orange Army is going to be out in full force. We've got Max at home, and to make it all a little bit emotional, it's our last ever Dutch GP at Zandvoort. So maybe we might get a Max Verstappen masterclass, possibly.
Never count it out. Never
I
count
agree.
people out.
Nat, I agree. You can never count that guy out. Like, never.
Never.
If you bet against Max Verstappen, you haven't been in the game long enough. You cannot.
No. Yeah, exactly right.
Not at all. Yeah, he's always there for us. So just to give you a rough breakdown on how we do our predictions,
Okay.
because it's a sprint weekend, we're adding one prediction in. So we're going to go sprint winner, pole, then we'll go P3, P2, P1, and then we also always have an honorable mention.
Ooh. Okay. Great. Okay, so I'm going to be thinking of this.
Yeah.
Has
Same as
not
us.
been rehearsed, guys, in any
Yeah.
way. So we're gonna.
No.
Okay.
We like just going in raw.
Yeah. So for your sprint winner, Lali,
I think the sprint is going to be won by the local hero, Max Verstappen.
Alrighty.
I am right there with you. I'm also going Max Verstappen for the sprint win. Don't know if he'll be able to hold the Mercedes back for a full race duration, but definitely in the sprint, no one is getting past that Red Bull. Al?
I love that. I'm going against both of you. Sorry, but I'm actually going to put Lando in for the sprint win.
Ooh.
His first win out last time around. I think he's going to carry some momentum. He's had a really fun summer and
really fun.
he's just going to throw that car around to get a spin.
I think that we've seen how fun that summer was, and can we be invited next summer? Because
I know.
So jealous.
I know Lando, when he's not like defending a world championship, is so fun. It's like we didn't see Lando last year. He was in the simulator. He was at home studying. Lando, who is just like whatever goes. He's a fun Lando.
Love that Lando.
Love him. All right, your poll. Who are you putting on poll?
Poll for the big race. Again, I think we might see Max Verstappen get pole.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hadn't given that much thought, guys, to be honest, but I just think that one lap, he's so good at doing that one lap at the last second where he just comes in and he's sneaky and he steals it. I think we'll see him do that this weekend.
Yeah, he has me screaming at my TV a lot. Let me be
honest.
A
lot, same.
Yeah.
A lot.
You, Natalie?
I am going for for George Russell.
Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like he's been rested, he's recharged, he's engaged, he's just happy, all the endorphins are just flowing.
Engaged! Woo!
He is just going to come in and be like, you know what? I reckon summer break for a lot of the drivers like puts everything back into perspective. Like, yes, Formula One is everything to them, but they've had time with their family, they're at home, and they're just like, you know what? Life's actually good and whatever happens, happens. And I think George needs a bit of that whatever happens, happens energy. And I think it's going to do him well. And he's going to come out and get pole.
Okay.
So that's my poll.
I love that.
Me too.
I am putting our darling Kimi Antonelli on pole.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look, I've had some thinking. I've done some thinking over the break. And I think I really want to see him take out this championship this year. So I'm going to back him a little harder in this second half of the season. Of course, he's in a rocket ship. He's been in incredible form, and I think this weekend's going to be no different. So I will be excited to see him back on top this weekend.
Okay.
Love that. Lali, also, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I just want to put it out there. Last year, I like to tell all our guests we have on the podcast, it was before we saw the new car, I predicted Kimi Antonelli winning this championship.
And I thought she was absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, never, blah, blah, blah. This is like last year. And look where we are.
Just, well, I said Lewis could get his 8th, and he's second in the championship.
I know.
So
I'll be happy with either.
So honestly, I think, no disrespect, Elle, but he has a lot of time to win his championship. Lewis has less time to win his 8th. All my eggs are in the Lewis basket for the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we'll check in on each other every week.
It's unfortunate we're starting with this race because he's not going to do great, but there's some great races ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as you guys sadly saw, Oscar was also quite in the lead last year, and then he met a friend in a wall in Baku, and then it all sort of went to hell. So anything can happen. Lewis is still in the hunt. That's my horse.
Are we foreshadowing a Lewis Hamilton Monza win? Because I can see it. I feel like
Dare we
it's
dream, dare we dream,
Dream.
dare we dream.
Yeah.
Let's do it. What is it? What are those people? The manifestation.
Yeah.
The witchy power.
Yeah, witchy poo powers. All right, P3. Lali, who are you putting on the third step?
I think P3 is going, this is really tough, Lando Norris.
Okay. Love that.
I am going also Lando Norris.
Whoop-o.
I am going Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah, Oscar Piastri gets a podium and everyone's happy.
Can you believe that it was this race last year that was Oscar's last win?
I know. That's nuts.
Crazy, yeah.
Shock horror. Shock horror.
Because his season became a shock horror indeed.
It did. It was so horrible.
Absolutely. Ended in shock horror. Started in even more shock horror.
That's not glory in the middle.
We're slowly coming back with a P3 from that, so that's good.
Yeah, that's all right. It was only last week Al was still thinking that McLaren were going to come and like maybe win the championship. But I feel like you've finally lowered your expectations and you're a bit like more realistic now.
Yeah, I am.
Welcome to the land of reality.
Never say never, doll.
It's true. It's true. All right, P2, guys.
Oh, this one's tough. Between two, but I'm going to say just maybe to be a little different. P2's Kimi Andrea Antonelli.
It's okay. Kimi.
It stresses me out that she's like taking record and it's too official.
Yeah. I can see her typing it out.
Yeah, just putting it down so we know.
You wrote Kimi Andrea Antonelli.
She's going to show the
I did.
receipts.
I used to do dictation. I used to be a legal secretary, so I write exactly what you said. So funny. P2.
Okay, P2 for me is Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Mine is also Max Verstappen, Al. We
Oh.
are here on the same page for once in our life.
Oh gosh.
What is
Natalie, I'm
happening?
nervous to see who you're putting at P1.
Oh, I'm nervous too because I'm between two and I'm going to have to make a split-second decision.
All right, let's do a drum roll.
Can I just say who I'm between and then I pick one at live in front of everyone?
All right.
Let's.
Okay, go.
So for P1, my head is split between Oscar Piastri, believe it or not, getting his redemption, and Max Verstappen. But I've already said Max will win the sprint. So you know what, Oskiller? I'm going to give it to you. Oscar Piastri wins this race.
You know what? We were already besties, but that just really locked it in for me.
Love heart.
So good.
Al, will you also be backing your boy?
Well, I'm not, unfortunately. But
Wow. What a traitor.
yeah.
No, but
I
she
know.
has coverage with me. The good juju I gave her.
Right.
We're covering it off. We're covering it
Yeah.
off. And I'm putting Kimi in there. I think he's going to take her pole to
Alright.
P1 and get his win. Get his second half of his season going.
Putting the other Mercedes on the top step. I think George is going to go pole to P1 this weekend.
Wow.
George Russell, let's see what you can do, my boy.
Incredible.
It's kind of now or never for George. Like he needs to get his season going or else it's just...
It's going to slip.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
It's still within somewhat reach if little disasters happen here and there. He's only 59 points behind, but still kind of he needs to start getting those wins.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He does. We'll see if
And Lali, what about your honorable mention there? Who are you going to put as your
I'm
honorable
going to
mention?
go really random with my honorable mention because you didn't give me any sort of caveat, so I'm just going to say that Alpine, I think, will have a good weekend. That's my honorable mention. I think they're bringing upgrades. I think it could be a good weekend for Alpine. Good for them, right? Guys, don't expect podiums, but I think that Alpine is going to have a great weekend.
If you're going to go one way or the other, is it Gasly or is it Colapinto?
Oh, Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
Gasly.
Gasly.
Great. All right. Well, my honorable mention is Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh my God, he's mine too.
Great. Only because if we don't do it this week, I don't know if we're ever going to get another chance in the history of our podcast, Formula One. So why not? Let's chuck him up there.
Yeah, Yuki's brat. Yeah.
Come in and just surprise us all.
You owe it to Nicole Piastri.
We owe it. Yeah. This is for you, Nicole.
We absolutely do.
This is for you.
Yeah. Yuki,
Alrighty.
Yuki.
Woo. Well, that rounds out our predictions.
Ooh, okay.
But before we let you go, we want to ask you just a few spicy questions.
Opa, okay.
Okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I've heard Colombia like spicy.
First thing that pops in your head. Don't deep it, whatever.
Okay, don't
Rapid
deep it.
fire.
All right. Question 1. You can only watch one series for the rest of your life. Are you watching Formula One or are you watching IndyCar?
Oh, man, how are you going to do me like that? Like, my heart is pounding so bad right now. Oh, I'm going to give it to F1, but it's close. It's so close.
Okay.
Like, my heart is really hurting
Racist.
to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah,
All right.
that's okay. All right,
I'm so sorry.
We don't hold it against you.
Yeah, we're not holding anything against you.
Fine.
Which is harder, an F1 street circuit or a NASCAR oval?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think an F1 street circuit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think like, look at a place like we mentioned, Baku or Monaco. It's just so tight. And a NASCAR oval, at least you have sort of an infield with grass. Like, there is some place you could hypothetically go.
Yeah.
On a street course, there really isn't much place to go to. Yeah.
Love that.
All right. So winning Monaco F1 or winning the Indy 500?
Oof. I think that winning the Indy 500 for sure.
Yeah.
That is quite a feat. Quite the feat. Yeah.
Endurance.
It's endurance. It's you need that car to be perfect. You need so many things to align over 500 miles. Like, that is an absolutely outrageous feat. So yeah, by far Indy 500.
Yeah. Okay. What does IndyCar do better than F1 that F1 fans would absolutely hate you for admitting?
One of the most important things, and I mentioned it when I talked about the race here in Toronto, is the openness of the paddock. You can really walk among the paddock, see the drivers, stop them for a selfie, talk to them for a quick second, not just if you have media access like I did. Anybody can if you get the paddock pass, which is really inexpensive, to be quite frank, comparative to anything you would see on the market. So I absolutely love that. In terms of racing, it's closer racing. It's more of an intrigue. Who's going to win the race? Anybody could win the race, really, of on any given Sunday. There are obviously some great notorious guys like Alex Palou winning a lot this year, but Marcus Ericsson won last weekend. So anybody could win the race. And then I think something that they do that isn't going to happen in F1, but is really, really good, is that IndyCar still does refueling. And that adds an element of mystery in a race, and they have to conserve fuel, and the pit stops are a little bit longer. And did they underfuel? Did they overfuel? So I do love that about IndyCar, because it adds an element of surprise and strategy that we don't get in F1 anymore.
That's so true. And I think that's something, I mean, for us Aussies, like we've got the supercars here and they still also refuel. And I think that's something that I really love about that series. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
That's really
interesting. So crazy. You're just like there and there. Oh, there goes Pato Award. Pato, can I have a selfie? Oh, no. Scott Dixon. Romain Grosjean, here you are. It's bananas. Like, the level of access. They always do an autograph session, so you get to, mandatory, the drivers have to go, so you can go and queue up, and they do the autograph session. You have so much access. You get to see the cars, the garages, you might see team owners walking by. It's unheard of, really, at that level of racing, to have that level of access. And it makes it so impactful, because these are people that you see on TV every week, and then all of a sudden they're just right there standing in front of you. And F1, for many reasons, it's so big that the stars have become so enormous.
Yeah.
They have security, right? Like, it's just on another level. I don't know how they could incorporate a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But it really is very, very beautiful about IndyCar, the level of access, because it gets you bought in immediately because you've seen your hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe we can wish one day, maybe F1, but I just,
I don't see
never.
it.
Yeah, you could never imagine.
Yeah, it's almost going to go the other way, unfortunately.
Yeah, even less access than we already get.
I think less and less access for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't see them all sitting together and doing autograph sessions.
No.
No.
They've even, like, this year, they've cut back on the press, like the pre-race press conferences. We used to have, 2 driver chats, and now it's just 1 with 4 drivers. Yeah, it's crazy. Less and less. But anyway, who is, in your opinion, greatest driver of all time in Formula One?
Oh, I have such a soft spot for Michael Schumacher. You have no idea. That is, I would say that's him and Lewis would be my goats and undisputed. I would put them above everyone else. And yeah, those are my two guys. I couldn't even pick one over the other because they're just such different driving styles, such different era of car.
Yeah.
So I can't pick one, but those two.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got one more. Which of the current F1 drivers do you see being able to handle Indy?
Fernando Alonso, for sure.
Yeah?
Sure. He's given the Indy 500 a go. It didn't go his way, but for sure, he's such a prolific, multi-talented driver. He has a 24 hours of Le Mans win.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that I truly think you put him in anything and he wins in the tractor race kind of thing. Like a lot of these guys grew up very single focused in karting and single seaters. They don't have that much experience in different kinds of cars. So immediately Fernando Alonso comes to mind that he could get into Indy and be very competitive in an Indy car right away.
Great. And our last question for you before we let you go, what is your one thing on your bucket list, whether it's in IndyCar, Formula One, something you want to do, achieve, go to, attend, experience, anything at all?
So for sure, without a doubt, in IndyCar, I'll give you one for IndyCar and one for Formula One. For sure, without a doubt, for IndyCar, it's the Indy 500. Please, someone get me to the Indy 500 next year. That is, I like the ultimate goal of my life is to make it to the Indy 500. Anyone who's been there, even from the F1 world, Daniel Ricciardo was there this year, Karun Chandhok was there last year. They tell you they've never experienced anything like it, and I need to experience that for sure.
Get Lali to the Indy 500. Woo! Get this girl there.
The GoFundMe link is at the bottom. In terms of F1, if we're talking about a race, I think that really for me it's Spa. I would love to go to Spa and see that circuit in person.
Yeah.
Above anything else. It's just so legendary. It's so spectacular. It's iconic. I would love to go to a race in Spa. That would be top of my list.
Yeah. Love.
Great. I'm coming with you.
Yes, we're going.
Same.
And you know what?
Girls
We just do a little picnic on a hill. We don't even need like fancy seats. You can just watch from anywhere.
I want to be on the hill. I want to be in between the trees, living out my twilight dreams while I watch my favorite sport. Like it's tick, tick, tick.
Tick, tick, tick. Exactly. And you can do that at a track like Spa. So that's okay. Let's again, another manifestation. Next year we'll be at Spa.
Woo! Done.
Actually, I do have a question that I want to ask. It's kind of backtracking, but it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Edit it out. So earlier on in the episode, you were telling us your background is in advertising and marketing and, you know, that wonderful world. How do you find that background for you and the Formula One world? How well does that gel? Because obviously, even with the business of speed, you guys are really good at dissecting the business behind the speed. And does that background in advertising, marketing play well into that for you?
Yeah, I think that when you work in advertising and marketing, you are often distilling things. You're doing competitive analysis of different brands. You're coming up with strategies to go to market. What is the unique selling proposition of whatever you're selling? So I do think that I'm used to sort of dissecting things and products and brands, and that certainly it relates to what we do at Business of Speed, is sort of distilling a story. But I think more than anything, it's that word story. In marketing and advertising, when you're selling someone on something, you're creating a story that you want them to get hooked on, right? That you don't buy it just because you buy it because there's a story behind it. And I do love that aspect of being a part of Business of Speed and being able to talk with people like you or writing for the newsletter. You're telling a story. When we're on track, we're telling a story. That's why when you ask me, what does a weekend look like? It depends on what story we're telling that weekend and who we're telling that story about and for. So that part about storytelling, certainly in advertising, when you make it sort of to where I made it, you're constantly speaking and pitching in front of clients. So it makes you really comfortable at public speaking, at reading a room, perhaps, at, trying to, maybe you're losing the client and you bring it back. And those are skills that are really useful when you're doing something like a podcast and you're interviewing someone super important, in the motorsport world, and maybe they don't seem as engaged, so you're trying to pull them back and ask them something that will get them fired up. So it's a lot of skills relate for sure.
Yeah. And sorry, you go now.
No, you go.
Because there's another thing that we do get asked about quite a lot, and I think I would love to hear your take, or if you have any advice to impart. But what advice would you give someone that is trying to make their way into the motorsport world, whether that be, through podcasting or content or, journalism, whatever it is, the business side of it? Do you have any advice that you could give?
My biggest advice is do it. Just do it. I waited so long to do it, and I knew it was going to be a lifelong regret if I didn't. And then I just started doing it. And my second and most important advice is please don't get obsessed with follower count or views. That is so demoralizing. I don't even care, honestly. I have a very modest, not big account, and I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when I'm here talking to you guys or I'm at a track, I'm doing something that I love more than anything. I'm talking about race cars. I'm witnessing race cars. And if I get hung up on how many views or likes something gets or how many followers I have, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to get demoralized. So don't focus on that. Just do it because you love to do it. And if it works out and you could monetize it somehow, great. But if not, if it's something you love to do, don't let it stop you. The fact that it may not be growing as fast as you want, or you don't have as many opportunities as other people, it doesn't matter. It'll come. And if it doesn't come, you're still doing something you love. So you shouldn't care because you're still doing something that you adore.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think even for me, listening to that is great. Sometimes you need a reality check of like what you're doing it for. And it's never been a chore. We look forward to it and it's fun. So like you said, if all you're getting out of it is just like doing something you love, well, it's worth it at the end of the day. So
it's completely worth it. I used right in the beginning, I used to care. And then I was like, why do I care? Like you just said to me earlier, when we finish recording, I'm going to go watch the last 20 laps of that IndyCar race because you've got me intrigued. That means so much to me, right? The fact that I got that intrigue, and then now they're going to have a new set of eyeballs watching that series. That means everything to me. I've influenced one person. That's great. That's all I need. I'll take it. I'll take it. So I don't think not everyone's meant to have 100,000 followers. I'm sorry. That's just not how it is.
Yeah.
And the reality is that sometimes people with 100,000 followers don't know as much perhaps as the three of us, or aren't as educated, or aren't into it for the proper, correct reasons of showcasing or highlighting the series, maybe perhaps more self-serving. Not that I'm sure people with 100,000 followers are also there to educate, but not everyone is. So if you're doing it for a reason that's not self-serving because you love it, don't let anything stop you. Even if you have 100 followers, it doesn't matter. You've influenced 100 people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think for us as well, like the one thing we've taken, like we started this because we thought, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
We messaged each other and laughed about it and said, should we just start recording ourselves and do a podcast? Here we are 2 years later. And I think the key thing for us was consistency. And exactly like you said, it doesn't matter how many eyes are on you, whether it's 5 or 50 or 500 or 5,000, whatever it is, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because the right people will find us and the right people will be a part of our community, a community that we love building and being a part of. Meeting new people like we've met you, and we just want to continue that.
I agree. And then whatever comes of it, right? It's just, you can't put the pressure on yourself that it has to be this mega thing, right? Because then you've already defeated, because the odds are stacked against you for it to be something humongous. So if that's your goal, then you're not doing it perhaps for the right reason. And then you're just going to be a very frustrated person. But if you're doing it because you adore doing it, then please don't let anything stop you. The follower count, the likes, the reshares, all that stuff doesn't matter as long as it's sort of feeding something in you that needs to be fed.
Or is in our belly. Woo!
Yay.
Lali, what races in the end of the year are you attending?
Ooh, we are hoping to have something in the works for Las Vegas. It's not nothing set in stone, but there's been inquiries made of us. And when I say us, I mean obviously Vincenzo and I. There's been some inquiries made. Hopefully that comes through. I don't know your experience. Often it looks like it's going to happen and it falls through at the last minute. So you never, ever quite know. But that sort of is the only one that is sort of, there's big rumblings that we might be there at the end of the
How
year.
exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
And it always happens so last minute as well sometimes. So
yeah.
That's the other thing. Yeah. Often it's, you don't know. And then it's like, boom, can you be there next week? And it's like, what?
Yeah. How do I make that happen?
How do I make that happen? Yes,
Logistics.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we hope we see you there.
Yeah,
we can
maybe.
live vicariously through you and your content that we see, because so exciting. That's obviously one that I've got on my bucket list. Vegas just looks crazy.
That's the one on your bucket list, really?
Oh, one of the ones on my bucket list. Yeah.
But you guys are going to be in Malaysia.
general.
Are you guys going to Malaysia?
Same thing. It's kind of up in the air at the moment. Hoping to get there, but we'll just see.
Yeah, we're really hoping to get there.
Yeah.
Just waiting for things to
align. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know that song. Yeah.
It's hard. And like still, that's like a close race for us. It's still 9 hours on the plane.
Stop it.
Yeah. So it's still like a whole thing. But anyway, we'll see. Put it out there with the rest of the add it to our manifestation list of this episode. Get along.
We need a prayer circle now. I'm trying.
Yeah, we do. Oh, well, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on today. It feels like we've just been chatting with an old friend. It doesn't even feel like, it's been so absolutely lovely. And you have such a good insight that, I don't know, it just was really refreshing to hear about IndyCar, your opinions. It was great. So we want to have you on more often. Whenever you're free.
I think so.
You're a semi-normal guest. I'd love that. I love chatting with you too. And I think that we're very aligned in sort of thoughts and feelings around things that are happening in motorsport. So I feel very attuned to you too. I'm really, really happy to have joined you, to finally get a chance to talk to you guys. And I hope we do it again soon.
Me too. All right. See you later.
Thanks, Lali.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.
Bye.